See, all of my life I dance to your tune, no staying, no beat, no staying, no ten.
Healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it just looks like staying. Sometimes it looks like seeing just a little bit of light in the dark room that you're in. Sometimes it's just going for a walk when you didn't want to leave the house. It could be anything. It could be staying alive, staying honest, staying one more day when you didn't think you could. It is after last week's conversation, I wanted to talk about what comes after the darkness. Not a perfect ending, just moving. Just getting up and going. So, welcome back to Into the Dark with the PK. I used to think healing would feel obvious, big, transformational, but most of the time it's subtle. Most of the time you don't really notice the difference. Sometimes you can't see it. It's doing small things like making an appointment, answering a text, or just, telling somebody you trust the truth of how you feel. That's one step into your healing process. It's one step closer to becoming more and more healed. Healing isn't the absence of struggle. It's the decision not to disappear. It's really just your choice of I'm staying and I want to get better. I want to take this head on and let's get through it. And it is very much not an easy process. It's like I said, it's not it's not the absence of struggle. You're gonna struggle. I'm gonna keep it real. It ain't gonna be easy. Because you've made it to a place of being in a dark hole and you're finally like looking up, willing to see the light to maybe get out of the dark hole. After heavy seasons, people expect you to, just bounce back for real. Like once you been in your dark place and they feel like you have came out of that space, they expect you to just get back to your normal self. And sometimes it don't happen like that. And, you know, recovery take time. It's not a fast process. It's not rushed. It's a constant fight for real. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel fragile, and that's okay. Because both are a part of the healing process. Both are necessary feelings that you need to feel to heal or to go about healing. The process is not it's not a straight line. It's ups and downs. It's layered. It's multiple things that go into your healing journey. You know, when you get to that low spot and you are finally ready to, or you finally got out of your lowest moment, and things starting to look up, it's very important that you like, my opinion is that you applaud yourself because it took a lot to even start, to even reach out, to even, make the appointment or make the call, any of that. It took a lot. So make sure you applaud yourself because when you spent years surviving, healing feels unfamiliar. You have to relearn what safety looks like. You have to relearn what it feels like as well. You have to relearn what your needs are. You have to relearn that you deserve care too. And that takes patience. That takes a lot. Relearning yourself is a very necessary thing to do, because a lot of times when we get in those low spots or those dark holes, we tend to lose ourselves. And that's why we have to relearn ourselves. That's why we have to find ourselves again. And honestly, who you learn and finding yourself again, you're not going to be the same person that went into that black hole. And that's a good thing, because that means something came out of you going into that dark hole, and use it to your advantage. Use it to, oh, I learned this while I was down, all right? Or I got to this point, this is why I went down, and I'm not going to allow myself to go through that again. Type situations, just really, just take the time to learn yourself and relearn certain things as well. If, let's see, if you like taking it back, let's say if you grew up in faith, rebuilding can feel complicated. You might question things, you might redefine things, and that's okay. Like I said, things are gonna change because you went through something. So I feel like things should change. Faith doesn't have to look like performance anymore. It can look like honesty. It can look like rest, honestly. It can look like staying. Having faith, a little bit of faith, could be the reason you stay. And can be the reason that you put up the fight that you're putting up to stay and to get better. And that's good, A lot of us need something to lean on or believe in to get to our next steps. If you stayed through a season that almost broke you, I hope you're proud of that. Even if no one else saw how hard it was, even if you're still healing, staying counts. Because nobody realizes how hard it is to stay. When you're hurting daily, when your mind is running crazy daily, nobody understands how hard it is to just simply stay. And I'm proud of you for staying. I'm proud of you for fighting. Because I know it's not easy. It's not. But this healing process, it ain't gotta be dramatic. It really don't. It ain't gotta be big. It ain't gotta be public if your fall into the black hole was public. The rebuilding of yourself, it doesn't have to be public. It could be very small steps, like creating a small routine, talking to someone safe, going to the gym, moving your body, doing yoga, meditating, stretching, just even on crazy days, just giving yourself permission to just sit and rest. You don't need a full life plan. You just gotta take the right steps and take it day by day. That's it. My healing process, I've learned, is going to the gym. I always tend to go to the gym heavy, but it's to keep me out of my head for real. And I mean, I still kind of be in my head, but like I be putting my feelings into working out, and I I made that my outlet. You know, I made that part of me getting better because it's me bettering myself, you know. And I tend to with me personally, I be wanting to gain weight or like bulk, and so my gym goals be, you know, weights, lifting, you know, heavy and things, trying to go up, and then also like my eating habits change. I try to create a routine. I'm not really good at the routine and follow it thing. I've been working on that too, but I'm giving you an example of like small steps that you can just do, you know, as you embark on your healing journey. When I first, like very first started therapy back in 2022, I think it was 22, when I first started therapy then, and I was trying to find myself. I called it my healing journey. And me personally, to find myself and relearn myself and figure out some things about myself that I didn't know, I went celibate. I stopped eating meat. I got in the gym real hard. And like I said, I started bulking. So I gained some weight then too. And I was going to therapy and talking to somebody. I shopped around for my therapist at this time with this particular topic of finding myself and things. And I, we talk once a week, like live chat, video chat. And, you know, she was kind of available any other day through like messages and stuff. But I also know that finding somebody that will support you outside of the therapist would be good, because your therapist is not always going to be 24/7 available. So having someone that is available at those 3 a.m. calls where your mind just running ragged and you trying to stay grounded, but you kind of need help, you know. Just basically finding your people that'll be there for you is good as well. I know my family, they latched on to me pretty hard, and I wasn't comfortable with everybody. Like each person that I knew that was like concerned, or like I knew that cared, got a different aspect of me in my low moments. Like my best friend at the time, I felt like I could only talk about certain things. Then I had another best friend that I could talk about the other certain things. And then, but I knew which best friend to be available at 3 a.m. if I called and which one didn't. I knew who would answer the phone and who wouldn't. You know, I had that. I had that already there if I needed it. Now, I also journaled, and I write. I get real creative when I'm coming out of my dark hole. I start writing books. I start designing clothes. 'Cause I have a clothing line, and I have 2 books that's published on Amazon, and I tend to start school too. The last couple times, yeah, I've started school. So it's like I be trying to find ways to like better myself for real. and try to figure out like what I want to do, because I'm still at the phase of figuring out what I want to do. I have an idea. Like this podcast is one thing that's been big on me about that I wanted to do. And then I've been wanting to do my clothing line and write my books. So it's like, just like I found out with the therapist, was that I'm looking for who I am and I'm ignoring who I am at the same time. Like I wasn't giving myself credit for the things that I had already accomplished. Like my 2 books being published, I wasn't giving myself credit for that. The fact that I had a clothing line, I have actually made sales and things, I wasn't giving myself credit for that. The fact that I have been in school, it's just certain things like, and then a lot of the creative things that I do, I put under Ari instead of my actual name. And what she helped me do was merge the two, basically. Understand that Ari is me. And me being proud of Ari, I gotta be proud of myself. So therapy helps. You find the right therapist, it will help a lot. Know what kind of, you could find a general therapist, but like I found multiple therapists because like I had a therapist to help me like figure out who I am, things like that. But I also had like a sex therapist, and then I had a therapist that was more focused on like my relationships and like my attachment issues and stuff like that. So I definitely switched out therapists from time to time. Like when I felt like, okay, I figured out who I was, I figured out that part. Let me tackle another piece of me that I need to handle. I got a new therapist, shopped around for that one, found it, and then also handled that situation. Went to another therapist to figure out some other things, and yeah, it's just like I've had a couple different therapists for a couple different situations to really, help me heal and just, dig deeper into myself and learn and relearn and unlearn and things like that. Because, like I said, it's not a straight path. It's ups and downs, and if you're not applauding yourself or giving yourself credit for real, then it'll be a little harder. I say always be your biggest cheerleader. Always be your biggest cheerleader. Because if you is waiting and expecting anybody else to be your cheerleader and they don't cheer for you, it can get you down again. So definitely make sure you lean on yourself. I actually wanted to get into like some stretching here recently. I know my best friend, she do some stretching and stuff, and I've been interested in it. Have I gotten into it yet? No, but I have been interested in it. So I just I think everybody healing journey looks different though. I definitely know that because nobody goes through the same thing. Like we all might experience things similar, but the exact same thing is not always the same. So your healing journey ain't gonna be the same. Our faith be different too. So everybody's faith driven healing journey is different as well. Cause like I I grew up Christian, and my healing journey, I didn't my first well, I guess, what I say first? I don't know if I say first, but the deep healing journey that I did just a couple years ago, that I went on, I did, but I I didn't dive deep into my faith with that healing journey because a lot of my trauma came from my faith, and I needed to figure out who I was without being scared or or having the fear of people judging me. And I still have like this fear of how people see me sometimes, but that's because of the fact that I actually like get in get in I get in like spaces where I'm not happy, but that's because I actually want to go through the process of transitioning and becoming a trans man, and I won't do it because I'm worried about others' opinion. And that tends to throw me into a dark place too, because I feel like I'll be happier if I was to do it. But I also am hesitant on it because I'm trying to make sure that it is what I want. And I mean, I'm pretty sure about it. I mean, I've talked to my therapist about it, and she's just been like, do it. But like, yeah, it's the family I got is not that easy. So is that right there is something that I've definitely been in therapy about and definitely been working on myself with. So, you know, even when you go on your healing journey, you you I don't personally think you're gonna hit every aspect of yourself in that one journey. Your healing journey is consistent, constant, and and I feel like it's a lifetime process because it's life is steady hitting you with things that you have to heal from consistently. So you're gonna forever be healing and relearning and learning and doing things differently with yourself. So that's just something to to, to, to remember. But darkness, just know like darkness isn't the end of your story. It might be a chapter, but it's not the conclusion. It's not the end. Healing is a lot quieter than you expect. Sometimes it's just a decision to wake up tomorrow and try again. Sometimes it's just, just deciding just to keep going. And remembering that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel might feel long, dark, cold, and lonely, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you for staying. This is Into the Dark with the PK. I'm Ari. Peace out.
I'm a childhood preacher, I got my own things to say.